Legal professionals are sounding alarm bells over the standard of candidates graduating from South African law schools. This week, students, professors, lawyers and advocates met to discuss possible changes to the LLB degree. Well, joining us now is CEO of the Law Society of South Africa, Nic Swart. Nic, thanks very much for coming in to talk to us.
Hello.
Now, I understand you want to extend the law degree by a year. Why is this?
Well, you know, the law degree was changed, the duration was changed in 2000, and we found that the reasons that applied at the time to make the study shorter and more accessible doesn't really work, in a sense that many law students take longer than the period, and we feel that we do not get the caliber of student that I think everybody expected.
Nic, does this suggest the kind of knowledge being acquired in the degree needs to be better aligned with what it takes to actually practice as a lawyer? Or does it suggest that standards at tertiary institutions are just dropping, so we're turning out a poor quality of lawyer?
Well, you can really say, I think the summit yesterday really brought forward a wide range of factors. There's firstly, I think, the problem with people emerging from primary and secondary level with insufficient skills. And the faculties told us that they have difficulty to transform that into a higher standard of skill during the shorter period. So we have detected problems at postgraduate level with literacy skills and numeracy. We also found that many graduates have problems to access information technology and also to do proper research. And I think the widespread feeling was that the public is really entitled to lawyers that can serve them as competently as possible.
Well, does that suggest that perhaps their first year at law school is then going to act as a kind of bridging year in which they catch up with the requirements to actually to qualify for a law degree?
I think it could certainly be one of the options. A task team was appointed that will hopefully in the next year try to work out what the ideal structure should be. And I think a kind of a support structure is certainly an option. I think if one would have during your selection process point out that there are certain problems, this structure will certainly help, yes.
Are you worried that universities are lowering their standards just so that there aren't so many failures?
I really can't say that, you know. I don't think that would be the case. My impression of faculties is that they are equally worried about the problem. They are certainly not a lowering of standards. I think one should look at a variety of factors. You know, the problem is that some faculties really lack resources, while others are better equipped. Some faculties have a larger faculty of teachers. So I don't think one could say that there's any deliberate or even negligent attempt at lowering standards.
Now, I happen to know a lawyer in private practice who says he's up against young NPA prosecutors, often who don't know how to argue their case, are unprepared for their cases, basically throw the case away because they're unqualified to fight it. How much damage has already been done in the justice system by inadequately qualified candidates?
Well, you know, I think that would be extremely difficult to answer. Of course, you know, one doesn't know what has happened in practical cases. I think sometimes law societies would see the result of bad lawyering, and appropriate steps would be taken, but only when cases are brought to the attention of the authorities. But I would assume that if you talk about court procedures, one would assume that you have a judiciary system which is also inclined to contribute to the process and ensure that eventually justice be done. But it still remains a concern. I think if you are a defendant in a matter, you are entitled to the best presentation, and we absolutely should all be working towards that.
I mean, have the inadequacies that have arisen in the last few years compromised ethics in your profession?
Well, you know, we would obviously say that law students should emerge with a strong sense of ethics. We believe that, especially in our constitutional dispensation, one should have lawyers who understand that they are there to serve the public, and we are a profession. I think if we lose our ethics, then we lose by definition our right to call ourselves a profession. So the profession is trying to attend to the problem. We offer a training in ethics to all graduates who are entering the profession. So there is a focus from the side of the profession, and we also convey to the universities that we believe that should be a very strong element of the curriculum in future.
Nic Swart, thank you very much for talking to us this afternoon.
News that moves. eNCA.com.